My name is Matthew Barnes. Welcome to my vlog. He's not having a good time here at Bonny Street Police Station. Nevertheless, he's attempting to get back up for another look to see what all the fuss is about. There's a fault with one of the demolition machines, and these workers, who, from what I can tell, get shipped in from out of Blackpool, are trying to find out what it is. One of them stops to take some holiday photographs to show their friends the time they're having in Blackpool. They're attacking the northeast corner of the complex. A man at a local supermarket is interested in experiencing the shop's return policy. This pigeon likes to hang out in the Hounds Hill shopping centre. Both its feet have sustained severe injuries. It has highly idiosyncratic mannerisms. It leaves you wondering what its life story is and how it ended up the way it is. Plants spring back to life amongst the ruins. And here we have the demolition crew displaying a softer side to their character as we catch them in the act of making sure the plant life around the site gets the water it needs. to respect the level of patience on display here. This looks like a pure exercise in frustration, and I would have quit a long time ago. A seagull goes for a walkabout on Queen Street. The security guard is concerned because there are currently some intruders on the site trying to smash some windows. I don't know what he thinks these police horses are going to do. Gallop around up the tower. The intruders eventually come out, and you're about to see the security guard giving them a talking to.
So, so you're not in there, mate. The ambulance ain't coming, the police ain't coming, so you can stuff like that. It is so dangerous in there now. Alright, but you're not bothered, are you?
Sorry.
Magic! Throw him out! Damaging my fence.
Get aggressive with me, I'm damaging his
Damaging my
fence.
fence, Magic. Should we kidnap him? Alright, oh.
And all those roller skates thrown into boot. Catch a
These seagulls are building a nest. Unfortunately, they've chosen a very bad location for it, because currently, as I'm recording this voiceover, this ledge no longer exists. You can only wish them the best of luck for the future, and hope that their next attempt is met with more success. That's fantastic, thank you. Do not attempt to replicate any of the actions seen here in this video. Leave it to the professionals. They give away their position by disturbing the seagulls. the graffiti that made this site so interesting meets its ultimate end. Sad to see this building go, but I imagine the graffiti artists are the most gutted about it. I spoke to them and they said that they were allowed to spray graffiti on this place, so hopefully they find a canvas in the future that's just as majestic. AT Media with his new hat. Morning. At this point in time, the British Heart Foundation charity shop in the centre of town was temporarily closed, undergoing renovation.
Basically, there was what they wanted.
A man who has dedicated his life to demolition casually strolls across the desolate wasteland. Whilst we see destruction and chaos, he feels comfortable at home in his natural habitat. His mind focused purely on the goal of annihilation, completely at peace with his environment and its effect on it. To him, this is just normality, and he most likely feels confused by the onlookers who seem to think that this is an unusual spectacle worthy of note. Like something out of a Wild West movie, police horses chase a man with a dog through the streets.
Film that 2011 Sandgrown Explorer chasing the police.
YouTubers chase the police chasing the man with the dog in order to try and get the perfect shot for their videos. However, due to a lack of rigorous physical training, we slow the chase down to walking speed. We continue the pursuit, hoping to get lucky. However, it was all in vain, and the conclusion to the pursuit was never captured.
And here we have Film That 2011. He's put extensive research into the best spots to film, and he doesn't miss a thing.
Serious roadworks are taking place on Princess Street. police vehicles are parked outside this hotel that has just had its windows smashed in. A new venue is being prepared for opening on the corner of Queen Street and the Promenade. It later turns out to be Diamond's show bar and restaurant. In the quest to experience Bonny Street Police Station in as many ways as possible, I engage in a viewing session from the wheel on Central Pier. Parking is £5 all day in a direction that this man is pointing. Either a homeless man has set up a camp on the outskirts of the site, or a photographer is extremely dedicated and waiting to get the best early morning shots, as if waiting first in line for a concert.
Hello! Come let me nice, please.
They're starting the work to bring down the bridge over Bonny Street. Right.
You walk back down this way.
It's the Pride Festival in Blackpool. All right.
Just a quick question. What's the reason for filming?
Oh, I'm just... I'm about to get a dirty look from this salesman. We've now reached a point in history where the bridge over Bonny Street is no more. This purple graffiti is a new addition that's only popped up within the last few days of the bridge coming down. Pay attention to the green S, because now that's got some new graffiti too. fire has broken out on the derelict Central Club on Kent Road in Blackpool. As of recording this voiceover, 2 kids have been arrested on suspicion of arson. You have to wonder whether you can hear the kids in the crowd.
Sam! What? Oh man!
A man decides that this is the perfect spot to do his exercise routine. Having completed his exercise for the day, he returns to engage in what looks like religious worship. Having completed his rituals, he then proceeds to drink his drink and eat some food. It's a very picturesque location to choose to have a picnic.
Cheers. Have a cheer, bro.
This is a good place to end my vlog. Thank you for watching.
I don't know what happened.